Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Ami-otaku and you're probably wondering what it is that you're looking at. This is new for me. I wanted to start playing Sims for The Sims 4 and I completely forgot there was a fence. 1 minute. I wanted to continue playing Sims. No. I wanted to start playing Sims 4 on my channel and I just wasn't sure how to what I wanted to do. Did I want to do a current household? Did I want to do a challenge that already existed? Actually, I'll just get the game. I'll just let them start doing whatever it is that they want to do. Did I want to do a current household? Did I want to do a did I want to do like a challenge that already existed that someone else was already doing? Or did I? Yeah. So the basic questions you ask whenever you start a series up. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to do? I decided that I wanted to do something that no one else, or at least I don't think anyone else has done it. So 1 minute, let's get her a job. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to do something that, as far as I knew, no one else had done. So I decided that I'm going to do an anime legacy challenge. And this is the first legacy. This is the legacy that we are starting off with. This we have in the house. I'll introduce you to the family actually now. We have Satoru Fujinuma. For any anime fans out there, you will know that Satoru is the main character of a anime which was, and I completely forgot to set my timer, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the time myself. I think this is just an introduction, so it can be as long as I want it to be, I think. But you'll know he is the main character of a very popular anime which came out last year called Erased. Satoru, just go off and do whatever it is you want to do. So yeah, so I thought this would be a really good place to start my legacy challenge off. Of course, we also have his mother as well, Sachiko Fujinuma, and this isn't a really rule-heavy challenge. It's not like a time limit to when we need to do something or anything like that. The first thing that I need Satoru to do is we're going to create a club. I don't have a solid name for this club just yet, so we'll just call it Just Kids for now. Let's see, what would this club do? Sorry, I should have thought about this stuff in advance. No, we're not doing anything bad. We're gonna be friendly to everyone. We'll go hugs, because hugs are nice. Who doesn't like a hug? And I'm really just basing this off of Satoru and his friends. We'll put in do homework until they turn teenagers, because that's when doing the homework becomes a bit problematic. Play equipment, and we'll go with watch TV. There we go. Things they won't do is they won't be mean. No meanness here. They won't fight. There'll be no scaring people because they're good kids. And where is it? I always put this in, but no stealing. I put that into all of my clubs. It's invite only. Oh, we need a logo. We'll go with a butterfly, just because if anyone has watched the anime, when Satoru has his moments of revival, which is when he goes back in time 1 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, he always sees a blue butterfly, so that makes sense there. Right. We do have there aren't many rules, but there are goals to this challenge. Goal number 1 is for Satoru to have a full green barred relationship with his mother. Oh, this is actually pretty good timing because a lot of characters are currently showing up that right, can I no, okay. You invite the neighbors inside because one of the neighbors who has shown up to this house happens to be Jun Shiroturo. I'm probably completely butchering that name right now. Which is the man that in his youth Satoru befriended. I asked you to let everyone in, so can you go do that for me, please? So, having him in Satoru's friend list right now would actually be beneficial to me. But yeah, so step 1 is for Satoru to have a green bar with his mum and Yuki. It's what Satoru calls Yuki throughout the anime, so we'll leave it at that. But just because I want him to have good manners, I'll have him introduce himself to everybody. Greet the new neighbor. Greet the new neighbor. Just want him to have, because I also thought to do this now because I have sorry, I didn't think the game would be this. I don't know. It might just be in my head. I apologize if the volume is a bit off for this first episode. It's just this is the first time I recorded Sims, so I just need to kind of get Sims 4, sorry, and I just kind of need to get everything sorted out and everything. So, the first tasks of the game are to get a full green bar with Yuki and a full green bar with Sachiko. Now, I will go over something I didn't go over is their personalities. Sachiko is self-assured, family-orientated. I can't read that, but that's from her family trait, and she is a foodie. And we have Satoru, who is a genius, and his aspiration is whiz kid. And Satoru's mother has the... I might change this actually to do something different. But yeah, she wants a successful legacy. Because we have... I'm going to change it to the new one, because that would be quite an interesting thing to look at. So I should probably actually get. Yeah. So I could explain all the stages of what needs of yeah, I'm gonna check out the new Parenthood stuff because obviously Parenthood has just recently. Someone is in a bad mood, but yeah, Parenthood has just recently been released. But so I'm gonna have them spend a bit of time together because obviously I need their relationship to be full. Because then once I've filled her relationship bar, we can start with Yuki. Because to anyone who doesn't know the story of Erased, Erased centers around Satoru Fujinuma, who is he is a 20. I think he's either 28 or 29. In the anime, he is a 28 to 29-year-old manga writer who's for reasons he doesn't quite understand is having trouble. He's told a lot of the time that he needs to dig deep into himself in order to make his manga good, but for reasons he doesn't quite understand, he's scared to do that. So being a manga writer is obviously not working for him, so he's working as a pizza delivery guy on the side of trying to get his manga started and his manga running. It's during one of the deliveries that we are made aware of. No, leave that. That's Satoru's. That we are made aware that something occurs with Satoru. No, don't put that in your inventory. I don't know why you're doing stuff without me telling you to. Claim that bed, that's yours. Be asked advice. Satoru's gonna ask her for some advice, okay. Last recess. You haven't even been to school yet, dude. Last recess, no one wanted to play with me. I just came around on my own. If it happens again, what should I do? Ask to join in. Okay. Hey, wait, why don't you do me... I'm not quite sure why that impacted him negatively. I'm not quite sure how asking to join in a game would make you unable to control your emotions. I don't quite understand that one. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, it's during one of his deliveries that, something mysterious, happens. Well, it's mysterious to us. It's not mysterious to, obviously it's not mysterious to him. Something mysterious happens where, for a brief second,
Gibbs. Zisamba.
For reasons unknown to the fan, to us, to people watching, I'm botching this explanation right now, and I know I am, and I apologize for that. Satoru suddenly jumps back a few minutes. And it's at this point that Satoru kind of starts looking around and is looking for something. We're not sure what it is, but Satoru is looking for something. It's at this point in time that a truck suddenly drives past Satoru, and Satoru notices that the person...
Oh, Stifa Mubis, huh?
It's at this point in time that you actually see that the driver inside of the truck is currently unconscious. I can actually make Satoru lunch. That's actually... I like that. That's cool. I'll get it to serve dinner though. We'll go with mac and cheese. Something simple. What are you doing? Don't put it away. Why don't you actually go right in that? Because it's a new thing that I haven't seen, so I want to see what happens. Anyway, back on topic. So Satoru sees this man. He's obviously unconscious at the wheel of his truck. And he also happens to be... The truck also happens to be speeding towards a young child who is just innocently trying to help people cross the road. Satoru immediately jumps into action and attempts to... he first off attempts to wake the driver up and to try and get the driver to turn or to swerve or to stop the truck. When it's made clear that that is not a plausible option and basically it's not going to work, he manages to career the truck himself. However, that then causes Satoru to get into an accident himself. It's at this point in time that Satoru informs us that the incident that we just occurred is what Satoru refers to as revival. He has no idea why...
Oh, Pandola.
He has no idea why these revivals happen, or really what it is he's supposed to do. All he knows is that when it happens, it's when something bad happens. Anyway, we move further on into the story, and I'm not quite sure what she's asking for now, but we find out later in the story that some of Satoru's classmates went missing. They didn't just go missing though. Whilst Satoru was a child, there was a serial killer loose who would kill children. However, someone was apprehended, and that someone was Jun Shirotoro, which is Satoru's friend Yuki. Obviously.
Oh, Perfa Fazoo.
Now, Satoru never believed that Yuki killed anyone. Can you please sit at the table? Sit at the table, okay? Good boy. And it was during a grocery... it's during a trip to the grocery store with his mother that even she starts to suspect that Yuki had nothing to do with the missing kids. We're not sure why exactly, what it was that kind of, which kind of made her put two and two together and figure out who. But eventually,
Vintajongi. Wanu.
Merkel.
Lars.
Largs.
Smurgs.
Himbo.
Canathoy. And Fabi.
ask him to do the dishes.
Blorid. Hina.
Satoru.
Kivaya.
But yeah. His mother figures out who it is, and she informs a colleague of hers, that she knows. Well, first off, she knows that that her son was actually right, and Yuki had nothing to do with the kidnapped children, and that she wants to meet up with him to tell him who the real killer is. However, unfortunately, the real killer happens to... I'm not even sure how he figured out that she knew that he was the killer or anything. That is not really explained very well by the anime itself. So I apologize if I can't really explain it myself. But before she's able to reveal to her colleague, or her former colleague who she used to work with, and before she's even able to inform Satoru, because she was also going to tell Satoru who the killer was, before she's given a chance, she is abruptly murdered by the killer in her son's house. Her son, Satoru, returns home from work that day to find his mother dead in his kitchen. His neighbor then conveniently drops by and kind of sees Satoru in his horrific state. I'm not even sure. Could she have seen his mom's body? I don't remember. But yeah, I think she saw the body and saw him covered in blood and immediately put two and two together and thought, instead of asking him what had happened, or even Satoru just simply kind of saying call an ambulance or call the police, she's just left to kind of think Satoru killed his own mother, and she calls the police. Satoru then does the most logical thing, which isn't to sit there and like kind of try and explain to the cops that he had nothing to do with his mom's death. He has no idea who the killer is or where the killer is. Instead of doing that, Satoru decides to do what any sane person would do in this situation and run. I know it sounds weird and kind of making a joke of it, but that is actually what happened. It's during this, however, that Satoru finds himself in another revival. However, this revival is completely different to all of the other ones he's experienced before. Satoru finds himself back in his childhood. Now, from what Satoru can tell from revival, it's basically a way for him to fix whatever's wrong. So that is when Satoru has now decided that he is obviously here for a reason. There's something in this time that needs to be fixed. And he is determined to fix it. So that is the basic story of Erased. Satoru is here to try and find a way to prevent his mother's untimely death. How he's going to do that, well, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who may not have watched Erased. if you haven't watched Erased, I highly recommend you watch it before you continue with the series, because this is going to be obviously very spoiler heavy. It's going to have a lot of spoilers in it for the actual anime itself, because I'm going to be following this through to completion. So yeah, as a child, Satoru had a very, very good relationship with his mother, which he now has here. Satoru didn't have many friends at first in his childhood. The one friend he did have was Yuki, this young man here. Yuki gave Satoru some good advice about being the person he wanted to be, and being kind of a fun and happy person. And if he truly believes that's the kind of person he is, then he will make friends. So yeah. So step 1 of this challenge, it has been completed. Satoru has made friends with his mother. Step 2 is to make friends with Yuki, or Jun Satoru. I'm just going to call him Yuki for the duration of this, because it's easier and it's what he calls. It's what Satoru calls him. It's what Satoru calls him basically everywhere, really. He calls him Yuki at the beginning of the anime, when he's kind of describing the whole story of the kidnapping and the murders, and things like that. So I'm going to keep him as Yuki throughout the series. It's in the middle of the night, and she has work in the morning, I think. Yeah, she has work in 8 hours. Yuki has school in 5. Not Yuki, Satoru has school in 5 hours. But anyway, as I was saying, step 2 of this series. No, step 2. Step 3 of the series is don't have that for breakfast. That's disgusting. Just have some cereal. For now, I'll have your mother cook some meals up. Anyway, step 3 involves the group that we made. As you all saw when I put the group together, it's a invite-only group. Now, throughout Erased, Satoru has a small group of friends who he's really close with, and who help him throughout his journey, and help him kind of remember parts of his childhood that he doesn't remember, and basic stuff like that. Satoru, can you move? I'm gonna have your mom make you get her to do your peanut butter jelly sandwich lunch. But yeah, where was I? I'm losing track, and I apologize. Careful.
Ow.
But I need to stop saying but. Anyway, I'll get there eventually. That's the best I could say, is bear with me, I'll get there eventually. Oh yeah, so that is stage 3, is to find and meet all of the members of Satoru's, but basically this, they need to find Satoru's friends and make friends with them. Put that in your inventory. Your mum made you lunch. Hide the journal. Uh,
Oh.
So yeah, that is stage 3 is for him to meet and befriend all of his friends from childhood. And after he has done that, we will move on to step 4, which is again most of this is actually just him attempting to befriend people. But yes, it doesn't show here because I don't want they have like an actual introduction section where he actually kind of introduces himself to her, but he knows her from school and she doesn't live too far away. That's actually she's right here. It's this young lady here. Her name is Kayo Hinazuki. Now Satoru didn't really pay much attention to Kayo. We'll just say his first time round. His first time round for his childhood, he didn't really acknowledge Kayo's existence. However, for reasons he doesn't understand, Kayo is standing out to him a little bit more. Well, it's not for reasons unknown, it's because Kayo was the first victim in the serial kidnappings and murders.
Huh. Why?
And it's dawned to Satoru that whatever reason he's been brought back, he's put 2 and 2 together at this stage in time whilst he's at school, and he's figured out that the reason he has been brought back is because for whatever reason his mother was murdered. It had something to do with the kidnappings and the murders that happened all those years ago. So Satoru is a man in a child's body. There's really no other word. There's no other way of describing it. Satoru is a man in a child's body on a mission. That mission is to prevent the kidnapping and murders of free kids in his area, which then indirectly result in the murder of his mother. That was the worst explanation to anything I've ever given to anything, and I really do apologize if that was more confusing than it was informative. But I would really just honestly, I would just recommend you watch the anime. The anime is incredible. Sadly it's only 12 episodes long. That's the most disappointing thing about the anime, is it is only 12. It's only 12. I can't remember if I said 12 seconds or 12. No, yeah, it's only 12 episodes long, which is a really sad and disappointing part of it, but it's just the way it is.
Oh.
But it's really good. It keeps you in suspense, and it highlights a lot of things that I don't feel like a lot of things do highlight these days. And I wouldn't recommend showing this to young children, but I would recommend showing this to kids, because there's a message behind it which I won't reveal just yet. I'm gonna keep that to myself until the time is appropriate. But there is a message behind. There's a message behind Erased, that I personally feel that children need to know. It's a lesson I would have liked to have been taught. It's one of those lessons that you find out in the anime what the lesson is, and you find yourself looking back in your own childhood and wondering if you had seen something like this, or if something like this had happened to somebody that you knew. And you know, it just brings up a lot of questions. And yes, it's a very good series. I highly recommend you go watch it. And I think I've gone over the time that I normally... Okay, he's returned home with a project that he needs to complete. Okay, we'll do that with your mum when she gets home. And we will also we'll have to do that next episode as well, because I just took a look at my recorder and I think I've gone over my time limit. I really hope you enjoyed this very first episode of the Anime Legacy Challenge, Erased. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment on what you think well, leave me a comment on whether you've seen Erased or not, and what you think of it. What did you think? I will ask ahead of time that don't give any spoilers. Don't leave any comments about what happens with Kaio. Don't leave any comments about the killer. You know, just don't put anything in the comments that is spoiler related. Just for anyone who hasn't yet seen the anime. If you are interested, please go and check out the anime. It is a really good anime. I will put a link in the description to it on Dubbed Crazy. I don't know any way you can watch it subbed. I suppose you could watch it on Crunchyroll. I don't really know. But I will leave a link in the description to Dubbed Crazy to it on Dubbed Crazy because it's free to watch. And I really hope you enjoyed my first Sims 4 video. I hope you all have a nice Monday and a nice weekend and a nice week, sorry, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.